think you should.
How's it going, guys? Lone Hawk here today, and welcome back to Coach Hawk, the series where I coach you and help make you better. In today's video, we're going to be coaching a former Grandmaster Genji and Hanzo player who goes by the name of Sockmeister. He's my friend, and he trusts my VOD reviews enough to send this to me and show it to all of you and coach him. Now, one thing before I get into this video, I'm not a Genji player. I am a Hanzo player, but I'm not a Genji player, but that shouldn't deter me from being able to coach his Genji because I'm not focusing on mechanical play. I'm focusing on the macro play and the bigger picture and everything, and his target prioritization and stuff like that, which is really what's important in coaching. So let's jump right into this video. Alright, let's hop into this gameplay right here. I'm going to edit out the parts where nothing happens, but we're going to take a look at what happens initially, take a look at his team and everything, and get ready to go. So, Locks Genji, what is the comp going to be here? What are we rolling with? Now, I'm not here to, to judge his teammates or coach them. We're here to coach him and what he can be doing better in the moment. He picks Genji. He's dude with an Ana. That's perfectly acceptable. This looks like this is a real comp right here. This can work. Triple DPS, one tank. You know, a Winston would be great in here, but this is going to work just fine, especially if these players know who they're playing. That's the biggest thing when picking a team comp. If everybody knows who they're playing, it's going to be a better comp than some team who's trying to force a perfect dive comp, even though they don't know how to play it. Alright, so we're back in game. I'm going to use my face to cover the chat. If anything important happens, I'll tell you, but this is the easiest way to do it for me. Let's take a look at his macro play. He should be looking for openings and picks as Genji. Poking at the choke, standard Genji. Whoa! Okay, hold up. We're only like a minute in, dude, and I'm already critiquing. That play I don't agree with. I said we're gonna look for picks. I did say that. But I don't think that was in an opening or a pick for a few reasons. Let's take a look at what happens here. McCree gets a little low on HP. He's at half. Half is kind of low. That's definitely an opening in some situations, a pick you can get, but here is not one of them. For one, he's getting healed by his Mercy. Two, D.Va's right there for Defense Matrix. And three, your Swift Strike isn't actually enough to kill him alone, so you can't Swift Strike in and then just Swift Strike out right away. So basically, his health is low, but it's not a pick because his team is there to follow up. And at best here, you kill him and they kill you at the same time. I guess then you'd get back to the fight faster, but still really not a worthwhile trade in my opinion. And that's best case scenario. You die most of the time. Now luckily, look what D.Va does. No, it was Lucio, I think, that actually boops you out. I don't understand why. D.Va or Lucio knocked you away from the fight and you lived. Right mindset. Don't think that was a bad. All right, so here I didn't hear your comms. I don't know if you were in comms. If you say like team, let's go in, that Swift Strike is still questionable. You should be going on their healers and their McCree and everything, but look where you Swift Striked in right here. You didn't hit anybody with it, and there's two tanks that both counter you right in front of you. Your deflect is the only thing you have left now, and Winston doesn't care about that, and D.Va honestly doesn't either. You won't deal enough damage to kill her through deflect. There are people behind you. It's just a bad situation. It looks like D.Va knocks you out this time. Once again, you get knocked out and saved. This was risky simply because they're, pretty basic. There are two enemies. You don't know if McCree's flashbang is up or not. Yes, the soldier is low, but you went in on the McCree. Now the team follows up, so you have to back up. I say right there, you either go in on the soldier who's low or you don't go in at all. Right here, I think that Swift Strike was wasted because, well, now it just doesn't seem like it did anything. That Lucio, look at this Lucio. He's low on HP. If you have your Swift Strike here, could have been a pick really early. I think conserving a little bit of Swift Strikes is going to be a thing. I don't know if you hit Lucio with the Swift Strike, but if you had it now, he'd be dead. And you'd have a reset as well. Ultimate's coming up. Let's see what you do with this. You got it pretty quickly. So you call out for the nano boost, kill the Lucio, and immediately come up here, kill the Mercy. That was like textbook. Now, when did you start dying, and how could you have avoided it? So, thought process is great. You know someone's up here. Whether or not you knew the Mercy was it. So you just started dying after you jumped up there. but it's probably because the Mercy wasn't healing you because she knows she has res. So she's hiding. Good. I like how you backed off here. Soldier is hard to deal with. Even this fight's going to be hard to deal with if the Soldier is good without your deflect. The Tracer comes and backs you up. That's a winnable fight, though. I like how you went for you and Tracer both went for the D.Va, because she's most vulnerable when she's getting in her mech, obviously because you can kill her before she gets in it, and also she can't defense matrix or even move when she's getting in it, so you can deal a lot of damage to it, which you both did. And she is never in her mech this whole fight. She was in it for like 4 seconds, which was perfect. So going for the D.Va was great. Then picking the Lucio was great. I'd like to actually just take a quick look at what you were doing midway through after that. So you hop off of her because you know she's not your main target. The flex seems a little unnecessary, but then you focus on the Lucio. That's the best you can ask for. That's the best you can ask for right there. D.Va getting in mech, prioritized. Once she left, you're not a tank buster, so you didn't go for her. Yeah, that was well played. Why did you guys lose the fight? Probably, you know, teammates. You didn't get any heals during that whole fight. I'd be angry if I were you. You did not get any heals whatsoever. After or before res. This Mercy was platinum last season, is now almost Grandmaster, so that could be that could say something. But who knows? That Tracer just overextends and gives you a free kill. Don't understand what... CoachHawk for the Tracer. Don't do that. Don't do that. Great call out. You went straight for the Mercy. That's great. Tracer kills it, so you're free to now kill the D.Va, who you then take out of mech and kill as well.
Soldier won by tower.
How many kills did you get in that ult, actually? So the intent, it seems, was to go for Mercy and then, you know, find what works, which is the best intent. If you kill Mercy first... I'd say that worked out well. You got the D.Va out of mech. You basically solo ulted to solo kill D.Va. But it allowed your team... It gave your team a big window, so I think you capitalize on it here. I personally don't worry about D.Va as much.
Nice.
I wouldn't, because, you know, you ignore her blades, and her defense matrix is useless when your entire team is swarming her because she's the last one alive. So I would have gone for... there was a small point in there where Soldier was visible. I would have maybe gone for him. Now, going up here is a little risky. You don't know where their team is. You found them. You found them. Do you die or do you live? You die. Honestly, saying not to go in there is a little bit nitpicky. I mean, most of the time, their entire team is not up there. So, yes, it was bad luck. But at the same time, maybe gaining vision of some people on their team would be good before extending. Good pick on the Lucio. Good job hiding. Now, here is an interesting situation. I think your team... Is this fight even yet? I can't tell. It seems like your team is losing, to be honest. Yeah, your team is losing this fight. I would not be here. I would right now... Ooh, right now, yeah, you can deflect and cross this gap. Soldier will not be able to kill you in time, and you can escape. Do you die? You do. You do not. You do not. And then you get a res. Okay, see, like right here... I see you had to swift strike to get into position. I don't like that. If you would have backed up before, you wouldn't have had to swift strike to get in position. Basically, let me just explain this really quick. Basically, like right here, when the Soldier attack visors, you're here and you're losing the fight. Nothing's happened yet, so you don't know. But right here, you should know. Two teammates dead. You are now losing the fight. I say get out of here, because even if you're over here, you're in a better position to escape from. And if Mercy reses, you can re-engage. Here, you're in a much more vulnerable position. If the Mercy does not res, you die. Or if that guy just... If they just jump on you, you die. That Soldier, I think, could have killed you. Potentially. But then, yeah, you see you swift strike over here, and now this is the position you want to be in anyway. If you ran there before with your deflect, I think you still have your swift strike up. But in the end, your team, because of the res, retakes, because that Soldier didn't kill you. Oh, there's a ton of ults going down here. Lot of ults. Alright, so you know Mercy doesn't have a res, so what? I would like to re-watch this fight. This is a tough one. So the res comes out from their Mercy. Double res, or maybe more. The hit thing might be broken still. So powers you up. And they've dropped the beat. Do you ult? I'm thinking you wait because you know they have shields on them from Lucio. And you'd rather wait a little bit of nano while firing? Yeah, that makes sense. So you kind of rocket barrage and ult at the same time. So there's really not much. I can't fault you there. Not knowing the rocket barrage was going to come out, you can't do anything about that. Except maybe communication, but when Pharah sees a good opportunity to rocket barrage, they take it because they don't always get those. So you say right there, you don't know if you needed to use all those ults. I think you didn't. I don't think there's anything you did wrong because you didn't know the barrage was coming out, and also without knowing your teammates, you have no way of knowing you would have won that. Your teammates could have just choked, and you didn't win that. It's more of a safe than sorry situation. And you go flying.
I'm probably gonna switch. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch.
So here, okay, I think you're gonna do exactly what I said. Yep, what was I gonna say? No Swift Strike back in. Why would you Swift Strike back in? Let's look at this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna switch.
So right here, you're kind of trying to find what to do, and it looks like you identify that Genji is low, and so you Swift Strike melee. But here, I don't know why you went back in. You had a Swift Strike. You were escaped, man. You could have freed yourself, and then you just accept your death. There's probably a reaction style thing, impulse, whatever. But just, I think you should have Swift Strike the other way.
Let's try one fight, and then I'll see.
My ultimate is charging.
Who's a problem? Like, let's look at their comp really quick. Who's a big problem, and who should you target? So they're not even running the Mercy anymore, which is kind of a pain because Lucio will boop you away and heal, and Ana just drops her heal whenever you jump on her. Say McCree. McCree's probably a good target to go for. Genji doesn't actually seem like he's that great against this comp anymore.
Monkey's top right.
I mean, he might not be bad, but he ain't prefer it either. It really depends on how good your soldier is. Actually, yeah, it depends on how good your soldier is. If your soldier can land a rocket on like the McCree, let's actually take a look at this fight. If the soldier can land a rocket on the McCree, then you can Swift Strike in, and then this becomes a good comp. But otherwise, so this fight, your Diva's out of position. Look at your Diva, or your Diva overextends. I don't like that Swift Strike because you had no escape afterwards, and you die. Yeah, to a Lucio feels bad.
Reset.
You did have a res, but she died. Okay. Let's fight. Skip to the next fight. Yeah, so that fight, I think you're Swift Strike in once again. Should have been a Swift Strike out or not one at all, and then saved.
Alright, let's do it. We gotta get him off high ground. Let's do it. Oh, McCree's left. He flanked. McCree flanked on left. He's up top.
So you are down one, but you are confident enough in your Genji skills to make it work, and it does start to work. You had to go in there. For anybody questioning it, that McCree played you like a fiddle. Alright, so the reason you went in doesn't matter if your team gets picked. Time's out. You have to go in. So that was pretty good timing. You got 2 picks. I would not have Swift Striked and gone for the Nano Winston. That looked like a reflex res, but I think McCree was waiting for the Ana, not for you.
Still winnable.
So just bad luck. But you guys win the fight. Because Mercy res,
Watch for
I
boots
think.
On this bridge, so Lucio's gonna have a good advantage here.
So that McCree did not play you like a fiddle. He was just waiting for the Ana to come back. And he saw that you deflected at the same time, so he probably flashbanged you both.
He used boop, no boop.
That's dangerous. That's danger. That's danger. I would spam I need healing here.
Lucio died.
It sounds toxic, but I guess you would have died either way. And this I think is your loss of the first round. I like how one part of my coaching said to spam I need healing. Let's take a look at what we could have done here. This I don't like. Not gonna lie. The enemies on the point don't have these people. If you fight them, you're at an advantage. You fight these people, you're fighting a 2v1, the one being you, when you could have fought maybe a 5v4 or more. You don't know what happened there. With knowing the Winston's coming back from spawn, which I think you should have. Like, look at that Ana. Look at the positioning on this Ana. When you go in, actually, I want to see if you can see it. You never even looked. You never even looked. But, like, you know, after this, when you turn around here, look at that Ana. That was a free kill for you if you were just there, which could have been the fight. You don't know, actually. Because you got picked for doing that, technically. Now, they do have ults and high noon, so you don't know if you would have won. But I think just going in on the fight, clearing the point, I think should be priority. Rather than going for the people coming into the point. Okay. So let's see what you run on defense. Do you run the Genji again? When do you switch to the Hanzo? That's the part I want to coach. Alright. Round starts in 10 seconds. What kind of comp are you running? Okay. So you got McCree. I'm guessing you also have a Diva.
5, 4, 3.
Regardless of what your comp. Oh wait, it was right there. Doesn't matter too much. Doesn't matter that much. We can pause it when we see it. It's so brutal using deflect when defense matrix just nullifies everything and isn't on a cooldown compared to your deflect. So right now, I'd like to take a look at this. So right at the beginning of this fight, they're coming in here. What do? The deflect, we talked about it. You kind of fall back in this direction with your team, yeah. Swift strike through because you want to get behind him. Then you kind of back off here. I don't agree with this path you took. Actually I do. I think you should have done one of two things. One, you keep following this path and you rejoin your team over here, or you don't take this path and you go in this doorway instead, because you could deflect, walk this way, and then go in the door. But instead you like do a little fake out. Your team's fighting right now without you. But it does allow you to get a nice flank. Ooh, a scary flank. If you just had a swift strike there, they were all dead, dude. But yeah, so you fought without your team fought without you for a few seconds, and you were losing the fight when you got in there. I think your angle of retreat and the time it took you to get back is what killed you in that situation. You're being a little aggressive again, but when you got your swift strike, you can do that. You have a new priority. I'm sure you know that. That is that Widowmaker. Kill her. You should be able to. Beautiful.
What is that?
A lot of ways you can kill a Widow. Not the worst idea to push up a little bit here, knowing you have a 2-man advantage. Yeah, push this. Take these guys. Take them for all they're worth. Steal all their cash. Get all you got. Yeah, now is here when here's the point where getting. I don't think I think trash. When you deflect just to get ult charge, you're kind of doing like you're doing trash damage kind of, because it'll just get healed, so they'll get ult charge too. But you have your ult right now, so I don't know if that deflect was necessary. Just the deflect into their diva, their whole team. You did a good bit of damage, but you actually only fed their ults with it. I don't even know if I can fault you for that. I don't even know. So, Widow has hacks. You can hear that Widow has hacks. Not something you should push up on. That was probably just a beautiful shot, honestly. Hard to fault you on that one when you jumped out with the deflect, thinking Widow would shoot you. Your intention was right.
On high ground and castle.
I guess the only thing I can say there is if you knew the Widow was such a good shot, which you didn't. If you have faith in the enemy Widow and you think they're good and you respect them, back behind the wall before your deflect is up, or keep moving. You were kind of not moving there. Unfortunate beat drop. Cannot get any resets, I imagine. One, you get one res. Not res. Reset. You get one reset. You're doing massive damage to that Winston. That was great. Like your target, your aim was fantastic there on Genji. Like you just landed like 9 headshots at him. It's gonna do a lot of damage even to Winston. Does your Mercy have res? She just did. Let's rewatch that really quick. So yeah, you're just hammering this Winston. I think the only one shooting at him. In this bubble, fighting in this bubble is fighting in Winston's terrain. It makes everything harder, but they're all the ones doing it. So you can't. I was gonna say try to find. Okay, the Ana. Let's say go for the Ana here. You have a swift strike up, not full HP. Just fighting in a bubble. Oh, you did. Oh, I am apologize. I am mistaken. You did do exactly that. Feels like this one was a little bit more out of your control. When you're fighting in that bubble, you're fighting in Winston's territory, and it's very hard.
With every death,
Hanzo. Let's see what's up. You're doing it for the Widow. I feel like Genji's better for the Widow, but, you know, a good Hanzo will end a Widow as well. Case in point. The Widows always underestimate your Sonic arrow, especially if you make it look like you were trying to hit them. They'll just think it was a regular arrow. Be none the wiser. Oh, whoa, whoa. As a Hanzo player, I can judge every little thing you do there, and I think that scatter arrow was a mistake. What is that? It looked like... So, now I do these two. Follow-up shot here is the easiest thing to do. There is, like, 0 chance this scatter arrow lands because there's this lip here. If it hits this, it's going the other way, and if it goes over it, it's going to go behind her. There's no way it hits the ground in front of her. The only way I think it lands is if you aim for that wall, but I don't think you... maybe you did. But even that's a risky one. And your scatter arrow is so powerful. Nice shot, by the way. Your scatter arrow is so powerful. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. But anyway, your scatter arrow is so powerful.
GG, I guess.
I try. I feel like my Hanzo got a lot better as soon as I started only using scatter arrow when I guaranteed a kill. Like that, right there.
Touch, touch, touch.
Or whenever you guarantee a hit. That is the match. That was actually closer than I think a lot of people realize. I like close games. They did push it all the way. How much time did they have left? 2:56. It wasn't the closest game. You definitely did well. I think you had lots of golds. You played most of the game as Genji. As Hanzo, they saved that scatter arrow. Make sure you can land it. Go for like 70% plus chance lands, and that'll be better. Those random scatter arrows, unless you're doing it because you know you'll get it back on cooldown before the next fight, I wouldn't recommend. But overall, I think the beginning, so you know what you're doing on Genji. The mechanical skill definitely there. The ultimate skill definitely there. All of those times, I think your ult prioritization was good, except for the one where you went for Diva, but you still killed the Diva and got her out of mech. So, not an entire waste, because remember, you engaged on the Mercy, which was the priority, and then since she was dead already, you had to find a new target. So I get that target acquisition. I say save your Swift Strikes a little more. You use them a little aggressively, and in some situations, you don't have them when I think they'd be useful. And sometimes you Swift Strike in just because, you know, you're a Genji player and you feel like that's the right play to make. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this. Hopefully Sockmeister found this video helpful. If you did, the viewer, not you, Sock, I don't really care. I care a little bit. If you, the viewer, like this video, be sure to hit that like button down below. Tell me what heroes you'd like to see coached next, and also send me your footage at the email CoachHawkOW@gmail.com. Super easy to do. All you got to do, in the subject line, put the heroes you played and the SR you're at. It needs to be 720p, 60 FPS, or better to be reviewed. I'll see you guys all later. Have a good one. Lone Hawk out.